Get up, you son of a bitch! Cause Punch Drunk loves ya.
The 8th Division World Champion. What's good? What's good? I got you. Y'all hear me now? Y'all hear me now? Ladies and gentlemen, you already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, fight week out there in Saudi Arabia. Devin the Dream Haney right back in the ring versus Brian Norman Jr. Y'all already know Devin Haney, 2 division world champion, was the lightweight undisputed, moved up to face Regis Prograis at 140-pound division, and when he captured the WBC world title. Now moving once again to the 147-pound division, the welterweight division, versus the man that's arguably regarded the best welterweight at the time. Can't say Mario Barrios because a lot of people felt that he lost to Manny Pacquiao, the 8th division world champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. So a lot of people ain't choosing Mario Barrios as the best welterweight. Right, even though I think he got the best resume though. BK in the building, Low Nose Boxing in the building. The members in the building. Car in the building. Joaquin in the building. What's good, man? Davo in the building. Towers. In the building. The member. He said no audio. I got that fixed. Low Nose Boxing in the building says, yo, you just don't want Devin to lose, because if he gets crushed, it's going to look bad. Our guy ducked that fight, but it's too late. B Norm about to be the 6th king. Can Saturday? I don't know about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people, a lot of emotions in this community. A lot of people use emotions when they're picking a fight. At the end of the day, like, we ain't going to be right all the time. We ain't going to be wrong all the time. This is boxing. We don't know what's going to happen. Ain't nobody a genius in the sport of boxing. You were never going to be a genius. How much you want to bet a lot of people back in the days chose Mike Tyson to destroy Buster Douglas? Ain't nobody going to come out the woodwork and be like, nah, man, you know, I was out there in Japan. You feel me? I was there at the club, you know what I'm saying, in Japan, chilling with Bobby Brown and the girls out there. And I seen Mike Tyson take a little bit of sort of a little white powder, having orgies around, and I put my money on Buster Douglas. And because I know the skills and talent, you know, styles make fights. So I did have Buster Douglas be Mike Tyson. Shut the F up. Stop it. I hate when people try to come over here to Punch Drunk Boxing and be like, oh, I gotta listen to you. You pick Canelo to be Bud Crawford. Motherfucker, I make a logical pick. That doesn't mean it's gonna be right. At the end of the day, ain't nobody gonna be right here all the time. You just want to make a logical pick. You want to have a logical breakdown. You want to break it down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. You want to do your film study. You want to know the 2 fighters. You want to know the momentum. You want to know their skills and talent. You want to know their strengths and weaknesses. And then you do your whole education, and then you come up with a logical pick. Ain't no feelings involved. Devin Haney ain't paying my bills. Brian Norman Jr. ain't paying my bills. All right? You feel me? Devin Haney ain't paying your bills. Brian Norman Jr. ain't paying your bills. I know in this community in the YTBC, a lot of people be emotional. They're a fan of Brian Norman Jr., so I got Brian Norman Jr. I got to pick him. You going to beat him. You going to knock him out. You a Devin Haney fan. Nah, man, Devin Haney going slick, is going finesse him and stuff like that. Ain't nothing that he could do, blah, 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 blah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's break it down unbiasedly, objectively. Let's break it down scientifically, right? Y'all always like to say, no, but you got to understand the sweet science. You got to understand the sweet science, punch roll boxing. You got to understand the sweet science. You got to understand the sweet science, the technical side of things, the experience, the momentum, the knowledge, the accomplishment. You got to put that all in the bucket and then come up with a logical pick, a logical breakdown, a logical prediction. And ladies and gentlemen, let's be real, let's be honest. Let's be real and let's be honest. The only thing that Brian Norman Jr. have showed the boxing world compared to Devin the Dream Haney is that he could knock out a bunch of dudes that we don't even know how to pronounce their names. Let's be real, let's be honest. I'm not going to make my prediction. I can't make my prediction. I can't allow myself to make a prediction blindly like that. I got to break it down logically. Even if I'm wrong at the end of the day, I just can't be like, nah, Brian told me you're going to knock Devin Haney out. You know what I'm saying? Brian told me you're going to knock Devin Haney out. Why do I got to believe? What? Because he knocked down, because he went out there in Japan and he knocked down Sushi? Huh? Because he beat Santan, Giovanni Santian. You think I'm gonna come with a logical opinion and be like, no, Brian Norman Jr. could beat Devin the Dream. It's gonna beat Devin Haney. Shut the F up. Shut up. Let's break it down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. Let's act like we know boxing. Let's act like we know sense. Let's act like we hardcore. Let's act like we educated. I cannot predict a fight of Brian Norman Jr. beating Devin Haney. I can't. Where is it? Give me. Where is the accomplishment? Where is the opponent? Where is the experience? Where is the pedigree in the amateur or the professional level? Where is it? Oh, because he knocked down a dude in Japan, I got to pick him to fight Devin the Dream Haney? I'm sorry, I can't. There is no logical sense in my. I can't. That doesn't mean that Brian Norman Jr. is not going to knock him out. Can't stop him, because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. But we do have to educate ourselves and do film study and know what the fuck we're talking about to make a logical opinion. We're not going to make the right opinion. We're not going to make the wrong opinion. We're breaking it down logically. And my logical sense is that Devin Haney is more proven. Devin Haney has been a pound for pound caliber fighter, has beaten pound for pound caliber skill set, and been beating world-class fighters since the age of 21, 22. He is geared. He is geared for the moment, rides with Devin Haney. The skills ride with Devin Haney. The accomplishment rides with Devin Haney. The belts ride with Devin Haney. The skill set at the highest level rides with Devin Haney. Everything is riding with Devin Haney. If you picking Brian Norman Jr., it's because you want to see Devin Haney lose or you hate Devin Haney. There is no logical sense that tells me that this Brian Norman Jr. beats this Devin the Dream Haney. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm speaking logically. Let me know. Or we're playing the guessing game. Or we're playing the betting game. I'm talking about breaking it down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. Put everything on the table, put everything on the hat, and let me know how Brian Norman Jr. could beat Devin the Dream Haney. Would he do it? We don't know. That's boxing. A bunch of y'all didn't know that George Kambosos is going to squeeze a victory with Teofimo Lopez, right? Right? A lot of y'all didn't pick that Lamont Roach was going to give Gervonta Tank Davis a run for his money, because when that fight was announced, everybody was saying that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to knock out Lamont Roach because Lamont Roach did this versus Jamel Herring and Gervonta Tank Davis. Come on, Tank. Come on, Tank. Why you ain't fighting Tio? Why you ain't fighting Shakur? Why you ain't fighting? We just don't know. We don't know. Facts. Cool Breeze says logic isn't always facts. And that's facts. So Now that we're predicting, are we predicting this fight because I feel Brian will beat Devin. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I feel it. Are we feeling it, or are we going to break it down mathematically? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like we're doing a math problem, right? Well, you remember when you was in school? Huh? Some of y'all still in school. But you remember when you was in school, middle school, high school, maybe college, whatever. And they give you a problem and you got the answer right, but the teacher want to know if you really got it right or you was cheating. And they tell you what? Show me. Show me how you got that answer. Right? Right? I was doing mathematical problems with my kids yesterday, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter, she know how to memorize. You say 5 plus 5. She says 10. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 take away 6. She memorized real good. Then you be like, but show me how you get it. It's just, it is what it is. 5 plus 5 is 10. Show me the paper. 63 plus 75. Show me. Do it little by little. She'll come with the answer, but she's a great memorizer, right? So when we make it the prediction, let's be real, let's be honest. Show me, help me, punch wrong boxing, because I always say that I love to educate, but I love to be educated. I don't got no ego in my bone. I'm too old for that. I had enough experience in my life. I ain't an old guy, but you know what I'm saying? I've been through it all. I've been through it all. I don't even have an ego because I'm willing to learn from y'all. Y'all tuning in, I'm willing to learn from y'all. I'm happy to learn from y'all. So I will say this, help me. Let me know why you think that, not think, show me how Brian Norman Jr. could beat the caliber of Devin the Dream Haney. Why? What does this man possess that Devin Haney can't handle? Is it footwork? Power? IQ? Experience? Jab? Defense? Punch selections? Adjustments? What does Brian Norman Jr. bring to the table to beat Devin Haney? Well, what you've seen, that what Brian Norman Jr. has done in his career thus far. Savage in the building, what's good? Savage in the building. Show me how you come with the conclusion that Brian beats Devin Haney. You see the poll. It's because he got better skills than Devin Haney? Let me know in the chat. Does Brian Norman Jr. has better skills, a better skill set than Devin Haney? Yes or no? Put in the chat. Have he shown y'all that he got better skill set than Devin Haney? Yes or no in the chat? Help me out, my brothers and sisters. Also, we had David Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. We also got Bam Rodriguez, pound for pound, number 5 in my top 5. Bam Rodriguez back in the ring. Abdullah Mason going to be one of probably the youngest heavy champion in the sport of boxing with his victory coming out on Saturday. Shout out to Abdullah Mason. Assalamu alaikum. Does Brian Norman Jr. got better skills than Devin Haney? Damn, yes or no? Answer the damn question. Participate. Shit, I ain't seen nothing in the chat. We see Joaquin, he said no. Well, everybody jerking over the left hand and watching and then tuning into the damn channel. All right, people don't want to participate. Let me just keep on talking. He said no. Is Brian Norman Jr. got more experience than Devin Haney? Huh? Is it that Brian Norman Jr. is bigger than Devin Haney? Does it look like? I mean, look, for years, a lot of people have been saying that Devin Haney is a weight bully. Devin Haney is a weight bully. See, I can't tell me now that he's a 147-pound division, that now all of a sudden he's smaller than Brian Norman Jr. He don't look smaller than Brian Norman Jr. Is he bigger? Is that Brian Norman Jr. is bigger than Devin the Dream Haney? I mean, come on. Yeah, the criticism got to make sense. We all been saying that Devin Haney should be moving up. We all been saying that Devin Haney is way bully. We all acknowledge that the California State Athletic Commission, exposed Devin Haney that he be rehydrating 25 pounds. So he's big. This is his pure weight. Brother, I've never picked against Haney, but Norman is the truth. Okay, all right. Let's break it down on bossy, logically, and objectively. He said, brother, I never picked Devin the Dream Haney, my brother. Punch, my brother. A pastor the book, so I never pick against Devin Haney. Is it because maybe that Brian Norman Sr. goes to channels that you respect, and the more that he talk and the more that he break it down, he has convinced you that he's the truth. He has convinced you that he's better than Devin Haney. He has convinced you because let me tell you I've been in this community, ladies and gentlemen. I've been in this community long enough. I ain't never met two fans of Brian Norman Jr. I ain't never met a community of Brian Norman Jr. fans. Never in my life, in the YTBC, on Twitter, on IG. Ladies and gentlemen, even when we was talking about Bud Crawford, Earl Spence, and the names that was coming up, the names that we was talking about that was coming up to potentially give them a run for their money was Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. Even that's the only two dudes coming up that we was talking about in the welterweight division. Ain't nobody ever talk about Brian Norman Jr. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that now he's the truth because he went out there to Japan and be saka chuki sushi. I don't want to hear it. Don't lie to me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Don't lie to me. Don't come over here with the BS that, oh my God, I've been a Brian Norman Jr. fan since the beginning. I'm telling you, he really good. No. Stop the press. Stop the goddamn press. Stop it. Not even Turkey Al Sheikh mentioned Brian Norman Jr. in his possible tournament when he wanted Teofimo Lopez to face Boots Ennis. He wanted the rematch between Devin the Dream Haney, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. No. Even when remember when he was a Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo Lopez was I think he was on the phone or something like that. He'd be like, I got Keyshawn Davis right here. You fight. There was never this push on Brian Norman Jr. Let's be real. Let's be honest. We ain't never heard no Brian Norman Jr. versus Earl Spence. Brian Norman Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Hey yo, Earl Spence better not duck Brian Norman Jr. Hey yo, Bud Crawford better not duck Brian Norman Jr. Stop it. He said, Seven said, we ain't hear much about Brian Norman Jr., but let me tell you like this. When Brian Norman Jr. was 23 years old, Teofimo Lopez just beat Vasily Lomachenko. Just unified the titles. When Devin Haney was 23 years old, he was becoming an undisputed world champion. Bam Rodriguez is a two-division world champion by the age of 23, being Riverside Quadras and stuff like that. By the age of 23, we already know who is who. By the age of 23, 22, 21, we know who is who. We ain't never put Brian Norman Jr. in the four kings. We ain't never put him as, Brian Norman Jr. ain't even close to the pound for pound list yet. Just be real with me. I'll be real with you. It's simple. I'm not getting on nobody. I just want to understand, what is this new found oh my God, Brian Norman Jr. could beat Devin Haney. Why? What did he do? What did he do? Please convince me. I don't want to hear feelings. Tell me skills for skills. Tell me technique. Tell me how he's going to adjust to Devin Haney. Tell me how he's going to take away. Is Brian Norman Jr. highly capable of taking Devin Haney's number one arsenal like Vasily Lomachenko did in their fight with Devin Haney and took away his jab? Does Brian Norman Jr. got better footwork than Devin Haney? Does Brian Norman Jr. got better defense than Devin Haney? Does Brian Norman Jr. got a better of accomplishment than Devin Haney? Does Brian Norman Jr. got a better of a resume than Devin Haney that's going to prepare him camp after camp, fight after fight for a guy like Devin the Dream Haney? Damn it, what the fuck does Brian Norman Jr. bring to the table to be Devin Haney? I want to know. Damn it, I'm getting like a little agitated right now because I'm trying to find. I'm doing film study and I'm like, okay, he did this to this guy, but what the fuck is this guy? All right, he's not going to do that to Devin. Like even there's fighters that's not even champions, and we still could be like, hey, yo, man, he got one of the fastest hands. Like we always knew that Ryan Garcia had a lethal left hook, right? We always, damn, yo, Ryan Garcia got one of the fastest hands in the sport of boxing. Damn, he got a lethal left hook. He just say he got no champion. He got no belts. What is Brian Norman Jr.? Like we always be like we could see like, okay, Ryan Garcia got a lethal left hook. Hey, yo, the athleticism of Teofimo Lopez, man, the showmanship. Yo, the defense of Shakur Stevenson. Damn, the jab of Devin the Dream Haney. Damn, yo, Boots and he's got everything of damn, man. He just passes the eye test in every damn category. Damn, the ruthless and aggression of Virgil Ortiz. Damn, Baron Rodriguez. Damn, he got every skill set. Damn, what do we say? Damn, when we look at Brian Norman Jr., what does he got a good jab? Footwork. What did he recognize you? Is he the second coming of who? The second coming of Shane Mosley? The second coming of who? Like he's not even compared to nobody. He's not even. We wasn't even listening to him with nobody. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, come on. I just want to break it down on bossy, logically, and objectively. I just want to know the truth. I just want to know the truth. That's all, folks. Brian Norman Jr. is the most manual. All right. I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna say it again. I don't want to. I think that Brian Norman Jr. is a good talent. He's good. He's good. I don't even know if he's really good. He's good. Brian Norman Jr.'s resume, ladies and gentlemen, is the most manufactured resume in the sport of boxing today. Brian Norman Jr.'s resume. He could prove us wrong and say that, you know what, and could change the whole narrative about resume. Brian Norman Jr.'s resume is the most manufactured resume in the sport of boxing today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's more manufactured. Hey, yo, Jake Paul has a better resume leading up. He got a fight with Anthony Joshua in his 14th fight. Even fucking Jake Paul got a better resume. Ain't even manufactured like Brian Norman Jr. Am I lying? Ladies and gentlemen, they always say that. What they say? They say men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Shout out to Seven in the building with the $5 super chat. Thank you for the contributions, my brother. He said he brings the same thing Ryan has without the Osterring, but in both hands and more skills behind it, bro. Norman more crafty than Ryan too. So why we ain't hear about Brian? Why nobody was talking about Brian Norman Jr.? Why we wasn't matching Brian Norman Jr. with the likes of all these guys? Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, we was talking about Kid Austin before Brian Norman Jr. We was praising Kid Austin, Abdullah Mason before Brian Norman Jr. We was praising. We was talking about the Keyshaws and the Kid Austins and Abdullah Masons. Yo, I think that people been talking about Emiliano Vargas just as much as Brian Norman Jr. Good looking out. Now, look. Again, what I'm saying is not facts because this is the sport of boxing. All I'm saying is, are the people that are picking Brian Norman Jr., and I'm not getting on y'all. I'm not. I just want to learn from y'all. I just want to, okay. This is the new narrative now. This is the new narrative now. He said, bro, your resume doesn't fight for you, period. See, now this is the new narrative, so we won't have to look at Brian Norman Jr.'s resume. Why we start new narratives in boxing? Like, we have enough narratives in boxing. So now looking at resumes don't mean shit. Why we do this in boxing? We always move the goalposts. It's almost like what I remember with Canelo Alvarez, right? And he went to the 175-pound division. And then there was a new narrative in the sport of boxing in which they were saying, oh, he fought the weakest of all champions. Never in my life growing up, I ever heard the phrase, he's fighting the weakest of all champions, just to discredit that he went to the 175-pound division and fought Kovalev. So now, since Brian Owen Jr. has the most manufactured resume, now there's gonna be people like my brother right here says, bro, your resume doesn't fight for you, period. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? No. Don't be putting that shit up. Don't do your punch on boxing. Take that resume off. It doesn't mean nothing, man. It don't mean nothing, Punch. His resume, you don't gotta look at his resume. Just look at the body. Just look at the body of work. How can I look at the body of work? I gotta look at the resume. No. Just avoid the resume, my brother. Punch on boxing, don't do it. Avoid, you know what I'm saying? Avoid that resume. Just watch the tapes. You see that knockout out there in Japan? Do you see the way he got that left hook in there? You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about the craft, my brother. You got to worry about the left hand and the right hand. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the resume, it doesn't show you the right hand and the left hand. When you look at the resume, it doesn't show you the technique. When you look at the resume, it doesn't show you the sweet signs. So you got to put that resume to the side, my brother, and just analyze the fight. Motherfucker try to hustle me right now. Nah, my brother. No. Punch. Relax, my brother. You gotta push that resume to the side. See, because that resume ain't going in the ring. You know what I'm saying? The resume doesn't get cut. The resume doesn't sweat. The resume doesn't make the adjustments in the ring. The resume, you know what I'm saying, is not going to be nervous in there. The resume can't fight for you, my brother. So you got to push that resume to the side because the other guy's resume don't matter either. You know, when the bell rings, you know what I'm saying, it's just mano y mano. It ain't no resume versus resume. It's man versus man. It's punch versus punch. It's IQ versus IQ. That resume got to be on the side. Don't put that on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Because that don't matter. Motherfucker try to hustle me. That's like when you meet a girl and shit like that. How you doing? Stuff like that. Are you single? Yeah. You have kids? Yeah, I got 8 kids. 7 baby mamas. But baby, it doesn't matter about my track record. Don't pay attention to the kids and don't pay attention to the baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Because the love that I could give you ain't gonna find nothing. My kids ain't gonna get in the way. And the baby mamas, I got them on check. I'm paying for child support and something like that. But you don't got to worry about that. You don't got to go to court with me. You don't got to worry about that. I handle that. I'm not bringing that energy into our relationship, baby. Because when we in the bed, you ain't gonna have to think about the baby mama and my child support issues and stuff like that. You know, baby. You know, all you gotta worry about is me. Look at my eyes. You don't gotta worry about the kids. All them kids that ain't your. I ain't trying to make you a step mama. All right. So just look at me right here. All right. All you gotta worry about is what we got right here, right now. Oh, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, kid. Nah, all of a sudden, he said, I got 100 EPT. Pack Nation in the building. I'm in the building, right? Ain't trying to say the resume don't matter. All right. The resume don't, okay, all right. My brother. He said, yo, what I'm saying is, Brian Norman beats Devin Haney. Will his resume be the reason he won, or what he did in the fight to be the reason pick? I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. That when we breaking it down and we making our prediction, or let's break it down logically. Let's break it down what this guy have done and beaten and what he have shown and the skill set that he's bringing to the table, adding the skill set as well, but everything to make a prediction. Now, a prediction doesn't mean that we're going to be right or wrong, because in the sport of boxing, anything can happen. So it's not about, let's say, okay, you have a prediction. Let's say you got Brian Oman Jr. and I got Devin the Dream Haney, but I'm going to break why I think why Devin Haney is going to beat Brian Norman Jr. I'm going to scientifically break it down in terms of skill set, in terms of accomplishment, in terms of adjustments that I've seen Devin Haney. I have not seen Brian Norman Jr., so I can't predict something, or I can't give something to Brian Norman Jr. that he has not shown. It's not his fault. And it's not my fault, but I could only go what we've seen and what we know of each fighter. That's all I'm saying. Are we making predictions based on the sweet signs, based on what they have done, based off what they do have, based off what they've shown? Or we are saying, man, I just feel you. I'm yo, Brian Norman Jr., I'm saying if he catch Devin Haney with the left hook, like Ryan Garcia, shit, he gonna knock him out. That's not boxing, bro. You know that's not boxing, because we could say the same thing. Because I was wrong about Bud and Canelo. So I know I've been humbled. I've picked right. I've said that Bud Crawford was going to beat the crap out of Earl Spence, and I was right. And I said that Canelo Alvarez was going to beat Bud Crawford, and I said I dare Bud Crawford stand toe to toe with Canelo Alvarez. I dare him. Yo, Canelo Alvarez got a better chin than Bud Crawford. But guess what? Bud Crawford showed in that fight that he got a better chin than Canelo Alvarez. I would have bet, if I don't even bet on boxing, but I would never even think about that. Shit never crossed my mind that by the end of the fight, I will be saying Bud Crawford got a better chin than Canelo Alvarez. So I understand. All I'm saying, our prediction before the fight could only be what we know of each fighter, what they shown, what they have in their toolbox, what they brought out out their toolbox versus who they brought those tools to. You know what I'm saying? Or out for. That's all I'm saying. But to say that, oh, we shouldn't worry about the resume, that's like when you with a chick and she blazed everybody in the block. And she tell you, don't worry about it, boo. All right, I fucked like 17 niggas from the block. But you different. You ain't gonna care, right? You ain't gonna care. You ain't gonna care that she suck your you ain't gonna care that she was sucking off your boy. They ran the train on her, and she was sucking off your cousin too. No. You don't care, because you don't have to care about what she did in the past. That's her resume, right? That's her resume, right? So you're going to be like, nah, baby, I don't. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to bring all that sloppy joes, you know what I'm saying, into our relationship. That was the past, all right, baby? You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to go to I ain't even going to tell you to go to the hospital, baby. You know what I'm saying? I think that you clean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know you don't got no STDs. Even I know this motherfucker I know from the block and shit like that. He got all the STDs in the world. He been giving it to all the girls. But you don't got to bring. Hey, yo, Pain. Oh, you gonna date her, right? That's gonna be wifey? Is that gonna be wifey, Pain? Hey, yo, let me tell you like this. She's probably gonna treat you better than any other girl ever treated you. Hey, yo, she could cook good. She could la mamada. She could do it good. She could cook good. She look good too. From the outside, but she got a resume that she's blazed the whole block. They ran the train on her. She sucked off everybody, bro. Look at Payne. He said, hell nah. No, hell no, Payne. Her resume don't matter. Her resume don't matter. Come on now, Payne. Her resume don't matter. There you go. So we got to implement. Is the resume everything? No, but we have to implement the resume. And what I'm saying thus far, Brian Norman Jr. haven't shown me that he could beat the caliber of Devin Haney. Could he do it? Yeah, anything could happen. That's why we watching. Hey, yo, put it this way. You know this. Yo, Tyson Fury, who else predicted? Tyson Fury says Jake Paul is going to KO Anthony Joshua. There's people that saying that Jake Paul may win the upset. I got Jake Paul getting the upset. And we could go talk about the same thing. Come on, Punch. Give me a logical. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I just want to see the Rocky Balboa story in real life. I got Jake Paul, but I'm not gonna scientifically break that down. I can't scientifically break it down that Jake Paul could beat Anthony Joshua. All I'm gonna say is I want Jake Paul to win, and that's what I'm saying. If y'all got Brian Norman Jr. being Devin Haney, is it that you feel like he's going to win, or is it that you want that he's going to win? But can you break it down? How is he going to beat Devin Haney? Because I can't see it. Even if the Devin Haney that showed up versus Regis Prograis and the Devin Haney that showed up versus Jose Ramirez could beat Brian Norman Jr. to me. The runner, in my opinion, could still beat Brian Norman Jr. I don't know if he's capable. And look, I'm going to tell you like this. I want to, he said, Payne said, but punch, it's hard to predict that when Devin moving up opposed to be more been fighting. Okay, so that, see, Payne, that's logical. And that's what I mean. Let's break things down logical. That's why I put it on the poll, right? So it's logical to say, all right, Devin Haney never campaigned in the 147-pound division, right? So he's facing the bigger guy, naturally the bigger guy. But with that, for how many years the boxing world been saying that Devin Haney is a weight bully, that he should move up, that he's bigger than all his opponents. So then that's what I'm talking about. We remember all the years of the criticism of Devin Haney. So now he's at 147. Now Brian Norman Jr. is bigger, but hold up. What was all that talk about in the 140-pound division? What was all that talk leading up to after the Regis Prograis fight, when we found out that the California State Athletic Commission exposed Devin Haney for rehydrating 25 pounds. We seen in the 135-pound division when Mauricio Sudamon, the WBC president, was going back and forth with Bill Haney on Barbershop's Conversation. He said that your son rehydrated 24 pounds, and we had an agreement that he was in discussion of moving up in weight because it was hard for him to make the 135-pound division, and that was way before that he even beat that. That was way before he fought Kambosos to gain those titles, right? So for years, a lot of people have been saying that Devin Haney is bigger, he's a weight bully and stuff like that. Now he's at 147. Nah, man, I think that Devin Haney going to struggle because you're going to be fighting the bigger man. So I mean, isn't that what we thought that Devin Haney should be anyway in a 147-pound division? Oh man, said AJ going KO Jake in a devastating fashion. Passionation in the building. In the building, said Joshua was washed and taking a dive. Nah, Pat. Let's not say he's taking the dive because there's been a lot of people always saying that, yo, Jake Paul need to fight a boxer. Jake Paul need to fight a boxer. And as soon as he fighting the most devastating and the most dangerous opponent yet, nah, let's not say that he's paid off. He's going to take a dive. No. We can't. Nah. It's a fair fight. It's a fair fight. Bang, bang in the building. Bang, bang in the building. It's a fair fight. Passionation in the building. Con los 2 pesos de Super Chari Chari Party K, me dice. Shout out to Saturday's card for 4 great fights. Shout out to Bam Rodriguez, Abdullah Mason, David Benavidez, La Bandera Roja, the Mexican monster, the Ecuadorian monster, the Dominican monster, Devin the Dream Haney versus Brian Norman, Anthony Yard. Shout out to Turkey Al Sheikh. Put some respect on Paul's name. Tell him. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to talk about this. Y'all can help me. Let's play a little game as well. Let's play a little game as well of mix and match it. Y'all know I'm a student of the game. I like to watch old boxing, new boxing, what's going to be coming in the future. I like to watch the amateurs and stuff like that. So I was checking out the pound for pounds, right? The pound for pound. What was the best pound for pound list? I was bored. I was taking a shit. You know what I'm saying? Not for too long, but I was taking the dump, and I was just looking at what is the best, what year have the best pound for pound list. There's a lot of lists throughout the years, but I wanted to compare one list to 2025, and I wanted to see like, yo, which pound for pound could match, because it's hard because some pound for pound they got more heavyweights, and then this pound for pound got only Alexander Usyk. Back in the days had Mike Tyson, right? I remember there's the pound for pound list. I believe it was in 1989, and it had Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, Magic Taylor. You know what I'm saying? It had No, that was the 1981 was the Frankie Randall and stuff like that. But anyway, so I took on the 2023. I'm sorry, 2003 pound for pound list. Let's play a little game right quick. If y'all don't want to play the mix and match game, is all right. We keep on talking about boxing, but I wanted to do this because I put it on my ex account on Twitter. Hold on, let me put the picture up. Let me put the picture up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 03 pound for pound list versus the 2025. A lot of people always talking about that. Damn, I wish that today's was like yesterday. Today boxing is not like yesterday. So let's. I know we can't match it, but I think that we can match at least five fights out of this, right? Roy Jones Jr. Now, this is what I put on my Twitter account. Go follow me on Twitter if y'all got Twitter, right? So this is what I had, and let me know if y'all think that this is a good. I was trying to find one of the best pound for pound lists, right? All right, I got Roy Jones Jr. versus Alexander Usyk at heavyweight, right? That Roy Jones Jr. that went up to fight Juan Ruiz and Alexander Usyk at the heavyweight division. Bernard Hopkins at middleweight or super middleweight versus, and I think when he was pound for pound around that time, I think it was super middleweight or it was middleweight. Yeah, middleweight or super middleweight. But anyway, let's do Bernard Hopkins versus Bud Crawford. Bernard Hopkins versus Bud Crawford. And let's just even in their prime. I know sometimes people in their prime gonna be like, yeah, but in their prime they was on this pound, they was on this division and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just a game. It's just a game, right? Let me see if a lot of people is engaging in that. All right, okay. I got James Toney versus Dimitri Bivol. Wow. James Toney versus Dimitri Bivol. So we got Roy Jones versus Alexander Usyk. Bernard Hopkins versus Bud Crawford. James Toney versus Dimitri Bivol. Oscar De La Hoya versus Canelo Alvarez. Antonio Tarver versus Benavidez, or we could put Antonio Tarver versus Beterbiev. Floyd Mayweather versus Shakur. So and look, we have. Look, if we want to say Manny Pacquiao and put him in the prime when he was at 126 or whatever, and have and let's see an Inoue moving up to 126, and let's say a Manny Pacquiao versus Inoue. But after that, it's going to be too hard, right? I even had a David Benavidez. Yeah, David Benavidez versus Tarver, Mayweather versus Shakur. Or it could be also Shane Mosley versus, well, at the time, he was 154-pound division in this pound for pound list. But even if we say, oh, guys, Shane Mosley at 135 versus a Shakur Stevenson. But let's go with the 5. Let's go with the 6, right? Let's go for Roy Jones Jr. versus Alexander Usyk, Bernard Hopkins versus Bud Crawford, James Toney versus Dimitri Bivol, Oscar De La Hoya versus Canelo Alvarez, Antonio Tarver versus Benavidez, Floyd Mayweather versus Shakur. So let's start off. Let's start off with the first. Who wins? Roy Jones Jr. versus Alexander Usyk in the chat. Randy con la bandera de República Dominicana. What's good, Randy? One of the members. Who y'all got? Roy Jones Jr. versus Alexander Usyk. Usyk at heavyweight. Yeah, the fight is going to be at heavyweight. Remember, Roy Jones Jr. became a 4-division world champion when he got the heavyweight, when he beat John Ruiz. Usyk. They got Usyk beating Roy Jones Jr. in their prime. Okay. Randy said Roy. Armin said Usyk. Chavez versus Tito Trinidad. That's not on the pound for pound list, my brother. But Tito Trinidad was on a pound for pound list back in the 1992 3-1. This is the 03. This is the 03, 04. Salvador says Roy Jones in his prime beats Usyk. All right, so we got like Pat Nation says Roy. We got almost like a 50-50 right here. Let's say Darry in the building. What's good, bro? All right, let me see. All right, we got Usyk. Savage says Usyk. Randy says Roy Jones. Salvador says Roy Jones. Pat's Nation says Roy Jones. Roy in heavyweight prime, not at heavyweight, but still he won a world title. Still won a world title. So it's kind of a 50-50. All right, Stephen says Usyk. So Usyk, I mean, it's like a 50-50. Maybe Usyk, people choosing a little bit Usyk, but it sounds like it look like a 50-50. So it's good. It's a 50-50 fight. He said Davo prime. No, man, we do. Hey, yo, Davo, why are you going against what we got in the screen right now? Come on now. Let's stay on topic. Pound for pound 03, 04 versus pound for pound 2025. See, you know what the difference in boxing? Look at the pound for pound in 03 and look at the pound for pound in 25. What's the difference really? And why boxing is where it's at today, and look at what boxing was yesterday. Roy Jones Jr. was a star. People knew him in and out the ring. Bernard Hopkins was a star. Not quite like a Roy, not quite like a Shane, but people know Bernard Hopkins. Shane Mosley was a star. Oscar De La Hoya, mega star. Floyd Mayweather, mega star. Manny Pacquiao, mega star. Kazasu had a country behind him. Ever Morales got Mexico behind him. James Toney, he was not a. James Toney was like like a buck. What is? He was not a star, but all right, hardcore. Antonio Chova, hardcore. But this is the reason why boxing yesterday was known more, because if the best of the best people, they were megastars. People knew these guys all over the world. Terrence Bud Crawford is just starting to get to be known like that. Like Alexander Usyk, Alexander Usyk could go in Times Square and he could walk around and people won't know who Alexander Usyk is. I've seen Alexander Usyk in 23rd Street and nobody knew who he was. I seen him walk in 23rd Street, walking up the block with his manager, and nobody knew who Usyk was. You could put him in Chinatown, nobody know who he is. Dimitri Bivol, you could put him in Times Square, nobody know who he will be. October Turbiev, the same. Bam Rodriguez, you think that he's you would confuse him for an Uber driver, or not an Uber driver, Chipotle delivery bicycle guy. Shakur Stevenson, I think he's known, but not like that. Nakatani, not known at all. David Benavidez, people are getting to know him. Canelo Alvarez, everybody knows him. That's the difference between now and then. There is no real megastar. There's no real star. You put them in their own country, they megastars. But that's what I'm saying. You don't got to put Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. got a citizenship of Russia, bruh. What's up, Raptor Boxing Out of the voice of the UK, London? Roy Jones Jr. got his citizen card in Russia. Putin personally gave him. Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins not a mega star. He's a star, but not a mega. Shane Mosley, a lot of people know Shane Mosley. Back then, a lot of people knew Shane Mosley. He just was a bigger star than Oscar De La Hoya, but he was a star. Oscar De La Hoya, mega. Floyd Mayweather, mega. Manny Pacquiao, mega. You have 4 mega stars, bro. Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Roy Jones Jr. Like they could go anywhere, and people knew Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. Yo, he had a Michael Jordan shoe contract. Y'all remember Michael? Yo, Roy Jones Jr. was the first athlete to sign with Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan got his brand. Roy Jones Jr. had his first boxing shoe deal, bro. I remember I had it in the 6th grade. I bought it in the 6th grade. I was rocking boxing shoes as my first day of shoes. You know what I'm saying? I was rocking the Roy Jones Jr. Jordan boxing shoes. Ricky Hatton had over 20K fans follow him to USA. Yeah, man. It's different, bro. It's just different. It was just a different atmosphere. It was a different culture. It was a fan. People love you know what it is? The difference between and we're gonna continue doing this. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna find the best pound for pound of one year and put the best pound for pound in this year, and we're going to have like little tournaments and shit like that. But I put the 2025 pound for pound versus the 2003, the 03 pound for pound, because you can match them more than other pound for pound lists, right? And I think with this one is good. Like I think a Roy Jones Jr. Alexander Usyk could be a 50-50. I think a Bernard Hopkins versus Bud Crawford at middleweight or super middleweight. Bud Crawford versus Bernard Hopkins at super middleweight or middleweight. Yo, that's good. That's a goodie right there, bro. That's a goodie right there. Oscar De La Hoya versus Canelo Alvarez at 160 or 154. Whatever. Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather versus Shakur Stevenson. Even want to say, how about Shane Mosley? I know it's not the year, but because Shane Mosley at 03 was a junior middleweight, right? Only if like a Earl Spence was there, no, not Earl Spence, but like say like, okay, Boots at 154 versus Shane Mosley at 154. I got Shane Mosley on that. Sorry, but I got Shane Mosley on that. Kazazu at 140 pound. We don't got 140 pound. We got Shakur Stevenson moving to the 140 pounds. I believe that Teofimo Lopez should be on this list. On the 2025. To be honest, I don't think that David Benavidez should be on the 2025 list. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I don't think he should be there yet. I don't think he should be there. If you take out David Benavidez and put or maybe Canelo Alvarez shouldn't even be there on this pound for pound list. I don't know, but let's take but David's not accomplished like the other guys on the list. You got to put Tio there, and then we could say Tio versus Shane Mosley or Tio versus Kazazu. And I like David Benavidez. I just don't think that he should be on the list. Not yet. You gotta be Bivol, be Beterbiev. He got a good stretch of his last 4 fights are good. But I think that people, I think that was a snub the way they did Teofimo Lopez on the 2025 list. Let me take this thing out of the way. So let's go back to the Devin Haney situation. Oh, and I'm gonna do a video after the live. This is gonna be the video after the live. David Benavidez took Canelo Alvarez cojones. Dimitri Bivol took his heart, and Bud Crawford took his soul. Do y'all agree with that? I'm going to do a video after the live. Do y'all agree with that? Do you agree with this statement? This is my statement. David Benavidez took Canelo Alvarez cojones. This is the first time when Canelo Alvarez, the way that he was talking about David Benavidez, it is the first time that I'm like, damn, at this point, it looked like Canelo Alvarez fears him in some way, some shape or form. Dimitri Bivol took Canelo Alvarez's heart. Bud Crawford took Canelo Alvarez's soul. Am I being mean? Am I being mean to Canelo Alvarez while I'm breaking it down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively? Do you agree? Do y'all agree with this? See, I don't think that Floyd Mayweather took anything away from Canelo Alvarez. I think that he gave him experience. I think he gave him motivation to go back into the gym. And he did pretty well after that. I think he learned from Floyd Mayweather. I think he learned from that experience. Okay. Savage said Mayweather took his O. Good. Mayweather took his O. David Benavidez took his cojones. Bivol took his heart. And Bud Crawford took his soul. That's good. Good looking out, Savage. Damn right. Mayweather took Canelo Alvarez O. David Benavidez took his cojones. Dimitri Bivol took his heart. See, you know why Dimitri Bivol took his heart? Because I truly thought that after the fight with Dimitri Bivol, that Canelo Alvarez was going to activate the rematch clause. I say, you know what? I want to run it back. Fuck it. When he declined to activate the rematch clause, I think that was the downfall of Canelo Alvarez. Warrior spirit. Bivol took his heart, bro. Bivol snatched his heart, bro. Bivol snatched Canelo Alvarez's heart. You could see it. You could see it. After the fight, you could see it. Bud Crawford, he snatched his soul, bro. His soul. Is nothing left in there, bro. It's nothing left in there. And David Benavidez just took his and snatched his cojones and threw it out there to the boxing fans, bro. I don't like to say that nobody fears nobody in the sport of boxing. I think that they know what they signed up for. They fighters. They fight to fight. You know, they fight to prepare, right? They fighters. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they fear. I think that Canelo Alvarez feared to lose more than just to a man. I think that Canelo Alvarez knew that by David Benavidez beating him, that David Benavidez would lose more than just a fight. He would lose the Mexican fan base. He would lose the country. David Benavidez will be the face of Mexican boxing. And ladies and gentlemen, it's looking like it seems like David Benavidez didn't even need to do that. Because it looked like David Benavidez, Virgil Ortiz, or maybe Bam Rodriguez. I must say that David Benavidez and Virgil Ortiz right now is the face of Mexican boxing. I would like to put Bam Rodriguez. The only reason why I'm not putting Bam Rodriguez, and even though that he's right now the better fighter of both, is that Bam Rodriguez, there is no anticipation of a big mega fight that's going to make him the face of Mexican boxing unless within 1 year and a half after this fight this Saturday, he jumps up weight class. You know, come on. We've seen Bam Rodriguez when he's not scheduled to fight. He's a chunky kid, right? He needs to now march his way towards Naoya Inoue. In a year and a half, that fight has to come to fruition. Bam Rodriguez needs to speed walk his way to Naoya Inoue. If there is a conversation of the face of Mexican boxing, see, because I'm gonna tell you like this, Virgil Ortiz has all the choices to captivate the imagination in the boxing fans, not only the boxing fans, but the Mexican fan base, right? He has a potential fight, and that's what I was talking about. A lot of people are like, no, I don't want to see no damn Virgil and Earl Spence. Hey, yo, this is boxing as well. This is a sport. This is a sport, and this is business. This is good for business, and this is good for the sport, and this is good for Virgil Ortiz. A fight with Virgil Ortiz versus Earl Spence, if he can't get the boost fight. We already know that fight is not going to happen next. Earl Spence versus Virgil Ortiz in Dallas, Texas, in a stadium, 60,000 people there. You know it's going to be a whole lot of Mexican. He does what Bud Crawford did to Earl Spence. That right there is the beginning of Virgil Ortiz mayhem. That is the beginning. I'm telling y'all right now. And this is why I'm telling y'all that I believe that fight is just as important as a career move than a Virgil Ortiz and Boots. at the moment. If Virgil could secure, in my opinion, I know y'all not gonna like it. I know there's people out there. First, Earl Spence haven't been back in. I don't give a fuck about what Earl Spence haven't been back in the ring. I'm talking about Virgil from Virgil's career, from Virgil's point of view, what Virgil could become. Sometimes you gotta take that star out. It's the tradition of boxing. What do you think, Floyd? What do you think? Oscar De La Hoya just came out the womb and became a mega star? Yeah, he got the gold medal. He was a star going to the sport of boxing. But let's not forget what he needed to do to become that, to become the face of boxing, to become the cash cow. He beat Hector Camacho. He beat Pernell Whitaker. And he beat Julio Cesar Chavez. And then he was fighting the guys in his prime, with his contemporaries. Then he was fighting the Tito Trinidad. Then he was fighting the Ike Corte. Then he was fighting the Shane Mosley. Then he was fighting that Fernando Vargas. Now he was fighting his era. But it's just like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson had to go through Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes didn't fight for what? Larry Holmes, how many years it took Larry Holmes, for how many years he was out the sport of boxing before he fought Mike Tyson? 2? Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go with facts. Let's go with facts. Let's go with facts. James Tone. Wait. I said Larry Holmes, right? Okay. Larry Holmes, that was 1988. 1988. Okay. Look, folks. Michael Spinks beat Larry Holmes twice, right? Look at the year. 1986, 1985, 1986. Then he took what? 2 years off. 1988. You telling me that Mike Tyson versus Larry Holmes wasn't a big fight? You think that Mike Tyson knocking out Larry Holmes when Muhammad Ali told him to knock him out wasn't a big fight in the legacy of Mike Tyson? It was a huge fight. A huge fight. And that was Larry Holmes coming after laws, being humiliated by Leon Spinks that moved up. So don't tell me that a Virgil Ortiz and a Earl Spence, since we all so focused about shitting on today with yesterday, and we love yesterday, Earl Spence versus Virgil Ortiz is a wonderful fight for Virgil, a wonderful fight for Earl Spence to get back into the limelight, into a big fight, a stadium fight, and a great fight for the sport of boxing. Don't let these fake ass fans fool you. Don't let these media fans fool you, thinking that no, Earl Spence and Virgil Ortiz is not a good fight. What the fuck? It's not a good fight. Shut the fuck up. This is a sport. Not everything is the best fight in the best. Not everybody's the number 1 and the number 2. And stop contradicting, because we cannot also say Virgil and Boost is the best fight in the best. What the fuck they did in 154 to be the best fight in the best? We putting them there. They haven't earned it there yet. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. Great opportunity for Virgil Ortiz to make him a bigger star the proper way, the traditional way. Well, you think that Muhammad Ali didn't fight Archie Moore? Huh? Come on now. Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, people are losing their way in the sport of boxing, listening to people saying, Earl Spence and Virgil, that's a stupid fight. Time out. Virgil Ortiz still haven't done anything what Earl Spence done in the sport of boxing. So why y'all acting like Virgil Ortiz is so way up here and Earl Spence is so way down here because he haven't been in the ring? Virgil Ortiz, I love Virgil Ortiz, huge fan of Virgil Ortiz, but right now Virgil Ortiz never became a champion yet. So stop acting like Virgil Ortiz is over here and Earl Spence is some dude that just a homeless dude, una basura. Stop it, folks. We're shrinking our sport and we devaluing our sport for whatever reason. For what? Bragging rights on YTBC? Oh man, with a $5 super chat, good looking at my brother Spence. Taking that Ortiz fight makes Spence the smoke goat. Hey, fuck what the YTBC saying. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. Whatever the YTBC is not boxing. All right. Yeah, we keep boxing conversations going on 24/7. But let me tell you like this. They put a Virgil Ortiz versus Earl Spence in Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that shit's going to do 50 to 60K. Mark my words. And I don't bet on boxing, but I bet on anything that they put Virgil and Earl Spence in Dallas, Texas, at the stadium. It does 50 to 60K. So don't tell me it's not a good fight. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. The business of boxing knows it's a great fight. Good looking out, Artem with the $5 chat. Boxing talk with a $10 super chat in the building. Me dice, I cut on the live and all I see is a choosing violence. A choosing violence. Call you punch drunk violence. Today is violence on Canelo, tomorrow with Green. It's on Shields. Oh yeah, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, 1:30, and I'm going early. I'm going early live, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. We have the champ, Shadasia Green, on the show. I'm going to have an interview with Shadasia Green tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, man. Shadasia Green wanna beat the crap out of Clarissa Shields. She won next. Shadasia Green at Madison Square Garden in the last fight beat Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall, the only girl that beat Clarissa Shields, her best victory, and Shadasia Green outperformed Clarissa Shields maybe in that victory as well. I'm not going to say, but it is what it is. I know that Shadasia Green lost to Crew DeJorn and Clarissa Shields beat Crew DeJorn, but that was a long time ago. We ain't going to have the triangle theory. In the end of the day, I believe that Clarissa Shields needs this fight more than even Shadasia Green. You know why? Because we all know that Clarissa Shields got no more opponents. How great she is, she got no more opponents. She needs Shadasia Green. And if they, and I'm gonna tell you like this, if Win Records and Salida they want residuals, they want revenue out of Clarissa Shields, you better get that Shadasia Green fight. Cause y'all ain't gonna get y'all money back. Y'all ain't gonna get that money. Who's she gonna fight? Y'all gonna get that money. Y'all gonna rely on her single? Y'all gonna rely on her on the booth? They're going to rely on her raps. Shit, all right. Put Clarissa Shields on the booth, because that's the only way that she's going to get money. The real money is going to come out with Papoose writing her lyrics and them creating this new artist like they created a Cardi B. But at least Cardi B, I ain't even going with the looks. Whatever. All I'm saying is, in the sport of boxing, the business handlers is not going to make money off Clarissa Shields unless she fights the names like a Shadasia Green, like a Crew DeJorn rematch, like a Savannah Marshall rematch, or she goes down and she loses 20 to 30 pounds and move down in weight. It's the only way. Go to 154. There's some good fights. I can see Natasha Jonas. I can see that. I can see a Chantel Cameron. Chantel Cameron is a big girl too. I think that she be cutting weight a lot. I think that's a good fight. How they gonna make money? Good looking out boxing talk. Michaela Mayer has been moving up. That'll be a good fight. I think it'll be a good. I think it will be a good promo too. Michaela Mayer, Clarissa Shields. American, white, black, you know what I'm saying? They could play the little race car stuff and stuff like that. I think it'll do. I think good looking out stuff. I think that Michaela Mayer, because Michaela Mayer know how to talk. She know how to talk. She know how to promote. Clarissa Shields, you know, she could go. Clarissa Shields goes viral. I think that will be good for women boxing. They need that. I like that. Michaela Mayer and Clarissa Shields. I like that. I think we'll make a lot. I think they'll get their money with that one. She says she's gonna fight Keith Thurman with a wig. VWC in the building was good, man. He said, Spence Ortiz, a great, interesting fight. Ortiz hasn't proven he that guy yet. And it's a good test to see if Spence back on his game. Facts. I don't understand these new age boxing fans. I don't understand. Like, I don't even want to entertain that. Virgil and Errol Spence ain't a good fight. That shit ain't shit. That shit is wet. Nah, man. For the career of Virgil Ortiz, If we're saying that he's a potential great, every great fought those fights, man. Every great fought those fights. Like I said, Muhammad Ali fought Archie Moore. All right. Larry Holmes needed to fight Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson needed to fight Larry Holmes. You understand? That's just boxing. It's boxing. Floyd Mayweather needs to fight Hernandez. You think that when Manny Pacquiao fought Oscar De La Hoya was in the top of his game? But Manny Pacquiao beating Oscar De La Hoya is what made Manny Pacquiao go from a superstar to an international mega star. Who you think beat Sugar Ray Leonard? Was it Hector Camacho? Right? Hector Camacho had to be Sugar Ray Leonard. Then Oscar De La Hoya beat Hector Camacho. That's just boxing. Let's stop getting away from the sport of boxing and saying, oh, Virgil and the Errol Spence is a bad fight. Ain't no, hell no. Boots versus Jermell Charlo? Hell no. Hell no. Shut the F up. You are not a boxing fan. You are a male figure skating fan. You are a male volleyball fan. This has been the sport of boxing since day one. Take out the old and in with the new. Take out the old and in with the new. Because if that old is still lingering around, we cannot certify that this is a new era. If Jermell Charlo says, I'm going back to 154, and Jermell Charlo never got beaten, didn't get beaten, for somebody to take his crown at 154, then Jermell Charlo could puff and say, this is my division. Ain't none of y'all dudes with the belts took it from me. All y'all dudes is belt holders. And Jermell Charlo could actually say that. If Jermell Charlo go to 154, all y'all dudes is belt holders. Y'all not a real champion. Hey, yo, Fundura, who you beat to get that belt? Not me. Hey, you got a WBC interim. Who you think? Who you think? What about you, Xander Zayas? Did you beat me for it? Who you got that for that belt? I'm the mother effing king. Ain't nobody can say nothing. What they gonna say? No, you left. You decided to go to 168. You left. Now I'm back. I'm back. I'm the lineal champ. Who's the lineal champ out here at 154? Anybody? Does anybody got the Ring Magazine belt? Take out the old. Take out the old and in with the new. Because none of y'all motherfuckers ain't proved more than Jermell Charlo or Errol Spence to be huffing and puffing. And I don't know why these boxing fans. Errol Spence lost long time ago versus Bud Crawford. He ain't lose to none of these dudes. Boots got his world title elevated. Boots got his world title versus Stanionis. He didn't get it from Errol Spence. He didn't get it from Bud Crawford. He didn't get it from Keith Thurman. He didn't get it from Ugas. He didn't get it from Porter. He didn't get it from Kell Brook. Well, no, he didn't get it from none of these guys. Who he got it from? They ain't do shit. They ain't do shit compared to Charlo and Errol Spence for y'all to be shitting on Errol Spence and Charlo if they in the stadium and say, you know what, I want you. Motherfuckers in the YTBC saying, yo, you saw Charlo talking to Boots and shit like that. Like, why would nobody want to see that fight? What the fuck you mean nobody want to see that fight? That's Boots' best fucking fight. Yeah. Shit ain't easy. No, it's not going to be easy, folks. You wish it could be easy. This ain't a 168-pound division. This is Jermell Charlo going back to his kingdom. Jermell Charlo versus Boots is a mother effing great fight. And it ain't going to be easy. All right? Don't act like Boots has beat a world beater. He hasn't beaten no fucking world beater. For anybody to say that a Charlo and Boots is a bad fight, they need that. Their legacy needs that. If Virgil and Boots is not gonna be fighting, why not? Motherfuckers are still like, no, I don't want to see that fight. All right, so who you want Virgil Ortiz to fight? Okay, Fundura is gonna be fighting Keith Thurman, probably in the postponement, probably gonna be fighting in January. And Xander Zayas is gonna be fighting his fight. All right, we're not gonna get Boots and Virgil. Who you want Virgil to fight? Bakram gonna be fighting Josh Kelly. No, y'all gonna be like, no. Oh, wait. Whenever they ready to give us Boots and Virgil, then I will watch Virgil. Or you want boxing to keep on going. because it's a sport at the end of the day. We can't get Boots and Virgil, then get Charlo. Boots, you get Charlo. Virgil, you get Spence. Let's pitch that to Turkey. Yo, Turkey. It's going to be an event regardless if Earl Spence come back. The return of Earl Spence, which I think that Earl Spence don't ring bells. 6 million views in NBC when he fought Leonard Bundu. 300 or 400 pay-per-view buys when he fought Mikey Garcia. 300 or 400 400K pay-per-view buys with Danny Garcia and Porter. 600 or 700 pay-per-view buys with Terrence Bud Crawford. Nah, Earl Spence, that's it. He washed up his shit. The business of boxing doesn't tell you that Earl Spence ain't shit. Jedi in the building. What's good, man? These are good fights. A lot of people in the sport of boxing, yeah, we always complain about inactivity. So what we want? Boots and Virgil to be inactive? Nah, man, give me that Earl Spence fight. Take him out. Take him out like Camacho took out Ray Leonard. Take him out like Oscar De La Hoya took out Hector Camacho. Take him out. That's just been boxing. Savage said facts. But in this fight, let's talk about this Devin Haney again. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. A lot of people saying all of a sudden in this community, Brian Norman Jr. is legit. Brian Norman Jr. is the truth. That Brian Norman Jr. this, Brian Norman Jr. that. I ain't never heard Brian. I never met two fans of Brian Norman Jr. in my life. I ain't never met two fans of Brian Norman Jr. in my life in this community. Now, because Brian Norman Sr. goes to certain channels, and now you falling. I even think that people are more fans of Brian Norman Sr. than Brian Norman Jr. Because Brian Norman Jr. didn't even say shit. Ain't nobody. I'm gonna say it again. If y'all tuning into the live right now, ain't nobody was talking about Brian Norman Jr. when we was talking about Virgil and Boots and a potential fight with the elite fighters at 147. Punch. You got Norman Jr. in the title. Punch. You got Norman Jr. in the title. Yeah, Norman Jr. To lose to Norman Jr. All I'm saying is when we make the prediction, I'm going to say it again for the people that's tuning in. Coda in the building was good. Coda. Oh, Coda. Otra vez un membe. Okay, Coda. Okay, support. Oh, I said Normal Jr. Norman, my fault. I ain't even going to edit that shit. I got it. That's a typo, right? That's a typo. You know, English is my second language, man. Es porque normal. Ese no es Brian Norman normal Junior. Estúpido ese. But anyway, good looking out. I'll fix that later after the live. Picking Haney to lose to Norman Jr. is logical or hate. Now, my boxing brothers and sisters, all I ask for y'all is to be real because I'm being real with y'all. That doesn't mean that my realness could be right or could be wrong because in the end of the day, it's still boxing. It's a prediction. But how are we making this prediction? Are we breaking it down scientifically, technically wise, accomplishments, momentum, styles make fights, seeing these fighters, how could they adjust? I cannot assess Brian Norman Jr. and I cannot say things about Brian Norman Jr. that he has not shown us that we have not seen. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. So I seen Devin Haney versus world-class fighters ever since he's Brian Norman Jr.'s age. We seen Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares. We seen Devin Haney face the Gamboas of the world. We seen Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz, and Jojo Diaz had great momentum going into the Devin Haney fight as well. Let's not forget about that. Oh man, these guys were smarter than Devin Haney. Yeah, but guess what? Even Devin Haney was facing Olympians. Devin Haney has made Olympians at his age. At his age, look that they're way levels below him. Let's not forget Lomachenko, Olympian. Jojo Diaz, Olympian. Jose Ramirez, Olympian. Yeah, he ran, but Jose Ramirez that's been knowing how to fight a lot of styles. These are Olympians. They're just not former champions. They are Olympians as well. Amateur and professional pedigree at the highest level. Amateur and professional pedigree at the highest level. I'm looking at, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to put it up there. I'm sorry, folks. You tell me, you guys tell me, educate me, please. Educate me. Tell me in what experience. Tell me what y'all saw in other these fights that tell you, you know what? Yeah, Brian Omju gonna kick fucking yeah. Brian Omju gonna he gonna knock out Devin Haney. He gonna do the same shit that Ryan Garcia did. Yeah. And what? Okay, Brian Omju got better power. That's it. Knocking out who? Shit, the same cannibal fighters that Brian Noma Jr. was knocking out is the same cannibal fighter that Devin Haney was knocking out. But what's difference? Yeah, he got power versus who? Let's be real. Let's be real. He got power versus who? Hey, yo, let me tell you like this. The same highlight that Brian Noma Jr. got knocking somebody else out. Devin Haney got the same. Hey, yo, put it this way. In 2019, Devin Haney got one of the knockouts of the year. Him and Deontay Wilder. In 2019, Devin Haney got the knockout of him and Deontay Wilder got the knockout of the year. I seen it versus who? Y'all remember that one? Hold on, let me see if I could find it. Hold on. Haney knocks out. Was it Moran or Morel? Let me see. Antonio Moran. You remember when he knocked out Antonio Moran? Look. Boom. Okay. All right. When Devin Haney, what was the better knockout? Same shit, same quality of opponent. He knocked out Antonio Moran with one shot. Yeah, right hand, over right hand. Yeah, knockout of the year. And this guy knocked out Jen Sasaki Sake Lakalaki. Saka Shuga Laka Shushiki. The fuck is Saka? Who's the son John Sasaki? His best one is Santian was putting hands on Bimo. Hit it. Yeah, the dude was putting gin, teriyaki sauce. Gin, sushi, makushi, lalushi. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I'm supposed to say that Brian Oman Jr. going to beat Devin Haney because this guy knocked out Jin Lakasaka Lakashaki? Huh? Because he knocked out the nigga from Bloodsport? Am I supposed to make a prediction out of that? Or just be real? Or just be real and say, you know what? I don't like Devin Haney and I want to see him get knocked out. I don't like Devin Haney and I want Brian Oman Jr. to win. He said, my God, the dude that Devin Haney KO was homeless and malnourished. And the dude that Devin Haney and the dude that Brian Oman Jr. got knocked out was a vegan out there in Japan, and all he ate was sushi rolls. Everybody knows Devin gonna start running around the ring punch. You guys are delusional. And he's gonna win running in the ring. He's gonna win running in the ring. He said, everybody knows Devin going to start running. Everybody knows Devin going to start running around the ring punch. You guys are delusional. No, we're not delusional. We're saying that. I'm saying Devin Haney's going to run in the ring. And he's going to beat Brian Norman Jr. by running in the ring. You know why? Because to us, it's running. For the judges, it's not. And that's what I was talking about the other day when I went live. Remember, Devin Haney, y'all don't know that Devin Haney already had his mindset. Devin Haney already has his mindset. Devin Haney is not going to show you he's not going to give us what we've been asking from him. He already went through traumatic, he got PTSD. Trying to take out Ryan Garcia, try to do what the fans wanted to see him do, sit on his punches, go out there and brawl out, go out there good and knockout, go out there and be exciting, and he almost got killed to the point where the motherfucker was suing. Devin Haney came right back versus Jose Ramirez and said, I ain't never going to do what y'all asked me to do. I ain't never going to sit in front of no damn fighter. I ain't never going to go for the knockout. I ain't never going to do none of that stupid shit. My stock drop, my health drop. I got a Scoochie as a baby mama. I ain't never going to go through this shit ever again. Devin Haney ran and said, and you know what? Scorecard read 119-109. 119-109 and 118-110. I mean 118-110. So while we here bitching as a boxing community, man, Devin Haney's running, man. Devin Haney's running, man. We gotta stop this in the sport of boxing, man. Devin Haney, we gotta stop that running, man. Devin Haney need to stop running. Hey, yo, showbiz, man, bring that petition, man. Let's all sign it. Let's all sign it. I do not want to see no Tom and Jerry stop it fighting. I don't want to see none of that bullshit. Man, we had a field day. We had a field day. Weeks shaming Devin Haney, making fun of Devin Haney. And guess what Devin Haney's doing? Securing another big fight by Turkey himself. Winning the judges. Why scorecards? The judges is just like this. All right. 4 criteria in the sport of boxing. All right. Clean, effective punches. He landed there. Devin Haney there. Another land punch there. He's controlling the pace of this fight. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Yes, that's definitely right. He's controlling, yes. Well, he's not being the aggressor, but Jose Ramirez is being is not efficient. It's not effective. It's not effective aggression. Well, no. So, hey, man, Jose Ramirez is missing punches. We got to credit Devin Haney the defense right here. All right. Devin Haney dictated the pace throughout this round. He landed more shots. And the defense was better, and Jose Ramirez was not effective. Round number 1 goes to Devin Haney, right? Second round. I'm the judge. This is the way they judging. While you sitting home saying, oh my God, stop running, Devin Haney is boring. Here Antonio Talva and hearing everybody, well, the 25 people out there in Times Square that saw the fight, whatever. But these are how the judges are scoring the bout when Devin Haney is. All right, round 2. Good jab, Devin. Effective right hand. Trying to be the aggressor, but missing punches. Good defense. All right, didn't get a hit. 3 punches thrown by Jose Ramirez. Missed. Good defense by Devin Haney. Good jab by Devin Haney. That's another point right there. He's dictating the pace. This is the style of fight. Devin Haney went like that. Devin Haney takes the second round. That's how they judge the scorecard. Devin Haney, all he has to worry about is 3 people. He don't worry about you no more. So, is Devin Haney going to run? Devin Haney almost pitched a shutout running and cashed in on $10 million. He pitched a shutout, basically a shutout running. Collected $10 million. had no scratches, no blood, no nothing, barely broke a sweat. Well, he broke a sweat running, but that's what he's going to do in the next fight. That's what he's going to do. Will Brian Oman Jr. got the IQ to stop that Devin Haney? Does Brian Oman Jr. has the IQ like Devin Haney in terms of this? We all saw at the highest level, high caliber, pound for pound Hall of Fame fighter, Lomachenko, do what other fighters couldn't do. And that's why you saw the levels of Devin Haney and the levels of Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko scientifically took away the best arsenal of Devin Haney. That's genius. When it comes to the sport of boxing, when a fighter takes your best arsenal, see, this is what Floyd Mayweather does. That's what Vasily Lomachenko did to Devin Haney. Took away his best arsenal. Took away the jab. Throughout all these years of Devin Haney, all Devin Haney has a jab. All Devin Haney has a jab. Guess what Devin Haney had to do? Devin Haney had to go to his bag. He was in the corner telling his dad, he got me figured out. He took away the angles, and by taking away that damn angle, he took away my jab. Dad, help me out. And this is when you know that Devin Haney got an IQ. Bill didn't give him Bill did not give him the instructions that we actually wanted to hear. He said, man, just what he said? Land that. What was the word? He said, land the brick. Hit him with the brick. We all know that Devin Haney got no damn bricks, right? Devin was looking at his dad. Dad, what bricks you talking about, Daddy? Dad, what the fuck? I'm the one that's getting hit. Why the fuck you talking to me like, you know, goddamn, I got no goddamn bricks, Bill. Dad, I don't got no goddamn bricks. Can you give me another damn the instructions? Oh gosh, I'm in trouble. My dad thinks I got bricks all these years. I know I got nothing. I got marshmallows. Guess what Devin Haney did? He adjusted. He started going to the body way more. Devin Haney started going to the body. 10th round, 11th round, 12 rounds. Still was a close fight. Controversial. There was a lot of people that felt that Lomachenko won. But it was still a good fight. But regardless who you felt that won, Devin Haney made the adjustments at the highest level with the highest caliber of fighter in the lightweight division at the time. He found a way. Does Brian Oman Jr. have the experience where somebody took his best arsenal away at the caliber of a Vasily Lomachenko and he needed to adjust? Because let me say it like this. Devin Haney have the experience and the skill set and the knowledge around him to take away the best thing that Brian Oman Jr. could bring to the table. Could Brian Oman Jr. adjust? Or he's going to go into fight mode? What Brian Oman Jr. is better in Devin Haney at this level? Remember, Devin Haney is a pound for pound caliber. He might not be in the pound for pound list right now, but Devin Haney he got pound for pound pedigree. Let me say it again. He might not right now be on the pound for pound list, but we all know as the hardcore boxing fan with boxing eyes that Devin Haney got pound for pound pedigree. Does Brian Oman Jr. got pound for pound pedigree? And what fight that you seen it in? And versus who? Give me a credible opponent that you be like, damn, yo, he did it to this veteran. He did it to this gatekeeper. He did it to this elite fighter. He did it to this pound for pound fighter. If Brian Oman Jr. is so good, like y'all saying, why was he the underdog versus Giovanni Santillan? When has Devin Haney been the underdog versus a caliber of Santillan? When has Teofimo Lopez been the underdog of a caliber of Giovanni Santillan? One has Jerome Boots and has been the underdog of a caliber. When has Virgil Ortiz been the underdog of a caliber? When has Shakur Stevenson been the underdog of a caliber of a Santian? When has a Tank been the underdog of a Santian? You let me know. Since y'all saying that Brian Norman Jr. is this guy, he's the truth, he's this. Why will he be the underdog versus a Santian? I could understand if finally a young fighter fights in with the great fighter, with the elite fighter. I could understand why Vasily Lomachenko was the favorite and Teofimo Lopez was the underdog, because at the time Vasily Lomachenko was pound for pound number one. I could understand that. But if Brian Norman Jr. was all it is, so Brian Norman Jr. just became hey, yo, let me say it like this. Brian Norman Jr. is the best welterweight by default. Am I lying? Am I lying? Brian Norman Jr. today is the best welterweight by default. It's not he earned it. He didn't earn to be the best welterweight. It's because Earl Spence left, Keith Thurman left, Bud Crawford left, Boots Ennis left. Everybody left. We're giving prizes away. Nah, yo, you got what I'm saying. Brian Norman Jr. is the best welterweight. Yeah, because everybody fucking left. And we just need to look around and say, oh, he's the best welterweight. He don't even got a resume like Mario Barrios. I'm going to tell you the truth. Brian Norman Jr. ain't better than Manny Pacquiao right now. At the age of 47, he ain't even better than Manny Pacquiao. At the age of 47, Brian Norman Jr. he's not even better than the 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao. No? Am I talking out of my ass? Huh? Coda said, nah, you bugging. Prove it. Prove it. Because I do believe that Manny Pacquiao beat, a lot of people believe that he beat Mario Barrios. He gave Thurman a run for his money. He gave Ugas a run for his money on 11 days notice. Let's not forget about that. He needed to prepare for Ugas in 9 days. Yeah, I went to that event. It was supposed to be Earl Spence versus Manny Pacquiao. What has Norman Jr. done that tells you no, what I'm saying is, Coda, he said, how are you going to prove it? Tell me something that Brian Norman Jr. has done to somebody that tells me that he's better. Tell me. Who? Don't tell me a Santian, and don't tell me a Jin Sakalakalaki, Shuki. Huh? Don't tell me that he beat the dude from what you call it, the fortune cookie warehouse from The Last Dragon. Where's the master? I'll show you. Huh? Brian Norman Jr. haven't done shit. Let's be real, let's be honest. He's done, and this is not a knock on Brian Norman Jr. I'm just comparing Brian to Devin Haney. And Brian Norman Jr. compared to Devin Haney has not done shit. The most that they have done, the highlights of Brian Norman Jr. was knocking out Sakalaka Shakashaki, the Santian, and hey, let me say it like this. Brian Norman Sr. has more of a highlight in fighting the dude from Philly. What's his name? The dude from Philly. Brian Norman Sr. rings more bell than Brian Norman Jr. in the YTBC. You guys got convinced by Brian Norman Sr. Y'all ain't got convinced by Brian Norman Jr. You guys are convinced by Brian Norman Sr. You're not convinced by Brian Norman Jr. You're convinced by Brian Norman Sr. You don't like the Haney, so you picking against the Haneys. That's it. Right? Let's be real. Yeah, that's the highlight of the Normans. Brian Norman Sr. versus Greg Hackett. That is the highlight of the Normans. I'm picking Haney to win, Punch, but rooting for. Thank you. See, these are the things. Now, Ralph. That's the way, and that's all I'm talking about. I'm rooting for Jake Paul to beat Anthony Joshua, but I cannot scientifically break down how Jake Paul is going to beat Anthony Joshua. You feel me? And that's fair, and that's what I mean. Let's be real with one another. Let's not troll one another like that. Like, come on, hardcore boxing fans trolling another hardcore boxing fan. Ain't nothing that Brian Norman Jr. showed me that he's better than Devin Haney and could beat Devin Haney thus far. Could he beat Devin Haney? Anything could happen in the sport of boxing, but I can't break it down. I cannot educate. I cannot break it down. It's wishful thinking. I wish and I believe that Brian Norman Jr. could do this. I think that Brian Norman Jr. is stronger because he's a bigger man. I think he does seem athletic. It looks like, Devin Haney is proven at every level, at every skill set. His IQ been tested. He needed to adjust. He's fought, and also just like Brian Norman Jr., right? Brian Norman Jr. went out there and fought in Japan. Devin Haney went out there and beat the guy in Australia. So Devin Haney he ain't new into traveling around the world as well, across the world. It's not unfamiliar territories. And Devin Haney had to also not only underperform, Devin Haney also has to underperform with pressure. Brian Norman Jr. never fought with pressure. And let me tell you like this, it's a blessing for Brian Norman Jr. to fight out there in Saudi Arabia, where really he ain't gonna have no fans. Nobody knows Brian. I don't even think that people know him in Atlanta. If it was here, if it was at the Barclays Center, if it was in Vegas, if it was in Cali, Brian Norman Jr. will feel the nerves. He will feel the nerves because he never been in a spotlight like that. He never been in a spotlight like that. He never needed to prove anything like that. There's never been a pressure on Brian Norman Jr. to be great because we never, as the boxing world, we never put that pressure on him. The pressure's on Virgil. The pressure's on Boots. The pressure's on Tio. The pressure's on Tank. The pressure's on Shakur. The pressure's on Haney. The pressure's on Ryan Garcia. The pressure's on David Benavidez. We ain't never put no damn pressure on Brian Norman Jr. He don't have to. He has nothing to worry about. If Brian Norman Jr. loses to Devin Haney in Saudi Arabia, he comes back to Atlanta, and people be like, "Hey, how you doing? Are you the person that towed my truck the other day? God damn it, come on, man, be a little bit human. Stop towing my truck. Yo, I had a fight out there in Saudi Arabia. Oh, are you dead? How you do? Fuck it, I don't got. What channel? What channel do you fought in? I mean, I fought in the zone. You fought in the zone? Auto zone? Fuck you talking about the zone and shit like that. I ain't see you no goddamn auto zone. I went there the other day and picked up some batteries and shit like that. Oh my God. I know Virginia going back to Atlanta. Man, I told you I ain't watching my fight, man. I was watching in the zone. The zone? When? Saturday? What time? 3 p.m.? I was out there in AutoZone at 3 p.m. I was getting a couple of batteries and shit like that. I ain't see you over there. Who you was fighting, damn? I would have jumped in right in. I would have jumped in and would have helped you, though. Punch, you capping, dude. Oh, my God. Now I'm capping. What am I capping about, bro? What am I capping about? Ain't nothing to cap about. He said, Punch, you capping, dude. Ryan took all that shit you talking about away. Devin and Bill pulling the wool over you. Out of anybody, you know that Bill and Devin is not pulling the wool over my eyes. Everybody knows that this community plus the Haneys, they can't do that to me. But I'm just keeping it real. That's me. See, that's me keeping it unbiased, logically, and objectively, brother. Even look at my video yesterday. I said that Brian Norman Jr. cannot overcome the PTSD of Devin Haney. So even the Ryan Garcia ass whooping was a blessing on disguise for Devin Haney to actually win this fight. Because Devin Haney going to be playing it safe. Devin Haney going to play it safe like you never seen nobody play it safe before. But that playing it safe, that PTSD, that him being careful, that him being this and that, still wins the 4 criterias and how to score a bout. As much as we are mad of the performance and the approach of Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez, look at the scorecards. Whatever you're frustrated about, whatever you want to see out of Devin Haney, judges don't give a damn. Judges is going to score the 4 criterias. And Devin Haney is the master of those 4 one of the masters of those 4 criterias. And with him running, he wins it. If you want to fight like Regis Pro, when he fought Regis Prograis, he still wins it. He's doing something right that the judges like. Devin Haney could win in many ways. Devin Haney could win a fight fighting on the inside in the middle of the ring versus Vasily Lomachenko. That's one style. The other style was the Regis Prograis style. The other style was the Jose Ramirez style. I'm going to run to death. Devin Haney is showing you ways to win a fight. Is Brian Oman Jr. going to outbox Devin Haney, ladies and gentlemen? Is Brian Oman Jr. going to outbox Devin Haney? Is Brian Oman Jr. going to outbox Devin Haney? Yes or no in the chat. Ralph said no. Turf said no. Is Brian Oman Jr. going to outbox Devin the Dream Haney? Yes or no? Simple question. Norman got to go for the KO, Ralph said. Maybe we just don't. Break it down of what Brian Oman Jr. have shown us, and break it down how Devin Haney have shown us. We got to go. We can only break down the fight and make a logical prediction based off what we've seen from both fighters, the caliber of fighters that they face, the tools that they have, and the tools that they brought on, the adjustments that they made, and the high caliber of fights they have been in. We have to add all of that to make a prediction. Forget about our feelings. Forget about my feelings, your feelings, how you may feel about Brian Oman Jr. or you may feel about Devin the Dream Haney. Let's break it down. What they say is a sweet science, so let's break it down scientifically. Scientifically, can Brian Oman Jr. outbox Devin the Dream Haney? Because let me tell you like this, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about his downfall was the Ryan Garcia fight. Even when Devin Haney was getting beaten up from pillar to post, go check the scorecards. Even when Devin Haney was getting beaten up from pillar to post with 3 knockdowns in that fight, Devin Haney was this close to win the fight. Now, all of a sudden, y'all telling me that while we were saying that Ryan Garcia got probably one of the best left hooks in the sport of boxing, ain't nobody was mentioning no damn Brian Oman Jr. around that time. Ain't nobody was saying, yo, you know what I'm saying? Brian Oman Jr. got one of the most incredible left hooks we ever seen. We've been talking about Ryan Garcia left hook since he was damn near teen. So I don't want people to come over here all of a sudden and say, nah, man, he could do the same shit that Ryan Garcia did, man. I'm telling you, that left, you see that left hook that landed on Jin Sekishaki? Did you see it? Imagine if Ryan Oman Jr. laying that same left hook on their hand. Man, please. How many times we always, excuse me, people always want to say, if this man hits him, imagine. Yeah, I already seen Canelo Alvarez versus Bud. That even humbled me. I ain't no dummy. I learned from my mistakes. Would you? I learned from my mistakes. I ain't never gonna say that again. I learned from my mistakes. And hell no, buddy ain't never gonna go no toe-to-toe with Canelo Alvarez. I dare him, yo. You crazy? You crazy? You don't got no chin like Canelo Alvarez, man. He gonna be eating them punches. I said that Canelo gonna eat Bud Crawford's punches. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even hurt Madrimov. Yeah. I was wrong. And how we get better, we learn. I learned better to analyze a fight. He said Devin isn't Bud. Okay. All right. And Brian Noma Jr. is not Devin. Coda. Brian Noma Jr. is not Devin. Brian Noma Jr. is not Devin. Fuck that Devin ain't Bud. Brian Noma Jr. ain't Devin. Fuck is Devin what Brian Noma Jr. done? Come on now. Ain't no shame on that. Hey, yo, and if Brian Noma Jr., you know what? And I said this to Brian Noma Sr. when he was on, I think it was Mill City. And I said, yo, compared to Devin Haney, your son is manufactured, yo. He's a manufacturer. It is what it is. It's just the business of boxing, bro. You the one that put your son to fight these fights so he could catch these highlights and catch the attention of the promoters. That is the way that you do business in the sport of boxing. If you got a fighter. I mean, my brothers in the chat, get a fighter. You're going to invest in your fighter. You want to take him to Mexico, you want to take him whatever. Okay. What you're going to do is you want to reach at least 10 fights with knockouts. If he's not an amateur that's coming out of the Olympics or nothing, he's not getting a lot of looks by promoters and stuff like that. Now you got to entice the promoters. You have to show the promoters wow. You got to wow them. Same thing they did with Edgar Berlanga. You go and invest on a fighter. Okay. You pay your fighter $700 the first fight, $500 or whatever, $1,000, $1,100. You get an opponent. You pay that opponent $900, $500. Boom, easy fight. First knockout. The same thing. You investing another $1,000, $700, $900. If that opponent $1,000, whatever, that's $2,000 of an investment. If you don't want to look for a matchmaker, you pay a matchmaker $300 to $400. He'll find a fighter, Indiana, whatever, blah blah. You fly him out, you play the hotel ticket, whatever. Boom, boom. You invest almost $3,000. Boom, that's the second fight. Boom, that's the way that you do it. Make sure he get the knockout. Now he gets 10-0 with a knockout. 11-0 with a knockout, 12-0 with a knockout. Now, boom, you start pitching your fighter and the resume and videos off to the promoters. Okay, we could dabble with this, right? You partner up. You could partner with a low promoter, stuff like that, but you partner up. They start putting him on shows. The promoters start putting him on shows. Then he keep on doing the same thing. You keep on doing the same thing. Both of you invest, and then you get an exclusive promotional deal. 15-0, 17-0, whatever. That's what they did. All right? This is what it is. If y'all don't know this is what it is. This is how you move a fighter. That's how you entice a promoter to give you a promotional contract. And there's going to be a time when you're going to be tested. His time was the Santian fight. Let me tell you like this. If he didn't have the Santian fight, didn't do it, you're not going to get an exclusive promotional deal. But this is manufactured. This is made up. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? So when I say it's manufactured, his dad knows what I'm talking about. Brian Noma Jr. knows what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that they're not in the gym each and every time getting better. I'm not saying that he's not in the gym working on his craft, but they playing the business. And this is all we really know. We know most of this. This is manufactured. He's a manufactured fighter with a manufactured resume. A lot of fighters are like that. But there's a time when they get tested, they get world class. Devin Haney, the same thing. Early stages, they go to Mexico. They get these easy fights. But Devin Haney already been fighting good caliber fighter. Let's not forget, when he's fighting these ex-world champions, he's fighting them at the age of 21, 20, 21, 22. And he looking levels above these guys. And that's how you move. I can't pick him over Devin. He hasn't shown me enough. And it's not his fault, but he hasn't shown me enough. Now he got Devin Haney, right? If he beats Devin Haney now, he got a Devin Haney in his resume, high caliber. And now we look at the resume and really look at it like, okay, it was just all business, but at the end of the day, he's the real deal. If he lose to Devin Haney, then all Brian Norman Jr. was a paper champion and the most manufactured boxer in boxing today. All right? Those are the facts. Those will be the facts. Right now, there's no facts. We're just picking. If Brian Norman Jr. loses to the smaller fighter, Devin Haney, moving up, what was Brian Norman Jr.? What was he? What was Brian Norman Jr.? Who did he beat? He said, Coda said, fact, Devin getting knocked down. You want to see Devin get knocked down. I'm not saying that Brian Norman Jr. can't knock him out. He could. All I'm saying is I can't predict that yet. If I predict that he's going to knock him out, it's feelings. I seen Devin Haney get knocked down. I seen Devin Haney got back up. One thing, in my opinion, it's hard for me to predict somebody getting knocked out. If I never seen him get knocked out or at least knocked down. Now, we've seen Devin Haney go through adversity. He's overcome those. Not the Ryan Garcia, but he did end the fight on his feet. He did adjust the Linares. So, as much as people like to make fun of those situations with Devin Haney, on the flip side of things, he showed me what type of character he has. He showed me what type of way that he know how to survive, his survival tactics. And this is what I mean. Devin Haney showing you different ways. I seen Devin Haney get hurt and still get his faculties back in order after 2 minutes in the next round, and then finish the round winning. I seen him adjust. I know how Devin Haney could fight when he's hurt. I know what Devin Haney could do when you could take his best weapon away from him. You understand? Let's really look at boxing the way that we need to see it. The casuals ain't gonna say it. We gotta stop acting like, he gonna knock him out. Man, he got more power. Man, he's bigger. Come on, the casuals could see that. He says surviving doesn't win fights. Coda, you a boxing fan. Come on, Coda. That's what I mean. Like, why are we being fake? Why? Surviving doesn't win fights? You think that Keith Thurman surviving the Luis Castillo, the Luis Collazo fight didn't win fights? Josecito Lopez? He didn't win that fight? Time out. Didn't Julio Cesar Chavez, was it Julio Cesar Chavez that hurt? I think it was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. that hurt Sergio Martinez. Was that fight in the last round? And almost had him out of there and survived? And survived the win? No? You don't win fights by surviving? No? He said Devin never showed that response. So when he was dancing salsa and came back the next round and was holding and clinching, and Linares let himself be clinched, and then in the 12th round, Devin Haney went back to his bag. Come on, man. And that's what I mean. We're not looking, and we just emotionally pick and just say. I want Devin Haney to lose. I want Brian Norman Jr. to knock him out. Fuck it, I want him to knock him out because I don't like Bill Haney. He be talking man shit and stuff like that. Okay, that's another angle. I understand that fan base. I understand that take. But give us that take. But anyway, we'll see. Brian Noma Jr. could prove us wrong. I got Devin Haney winning, beating Brian Noma Jr. 115, 113, 116, 112. My scorecard. I think it could be a competitive fight. I think it would be a fight like a Regis, but more I think it would be like Devin Haney versus Regis Progress, but way more competitive. In terms, I don't think that Brian Noma Jr. is gonna go down. But I think it'll be just like that. But Brian Noma Jr. fighting a little bit better. And he gonna get knocked down. So I could see a 116, 112. I could see a 115, 113. But really 116, 112, Devin Haney, but in a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? In a competitive boxing bout. If Brian Noma Jr. hurts Devin Haney, we've seen Devin Haney get hurt. So I won't be surprised. I've seen Devin Haney get dropped. So I won't be surprised. If he knocks out Devin Haney, I won't be surprised either. All I'm saying is I can't predict that. Because anything can happen in the sport of boxing. So I can't predict it, but I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. But anyway, tomorrow we back at it. Tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to go live twice tomorrow. We're going to go live. 1:30 p.m. Eastern time early, I'm going live. I'm having an interview with Shadeja Green, a possible opponent for Clarissa Shields. You know what I'm saying? Tune in, support the channel. If you haven't become a member to the channel, and for the members, for the members that you in the moonshine perks, y'all could be on the panel with me and ask her a question yourselves, or the people that's a member, leave your questions on the post that I would just put that I'm interviewing Shadeja Green, so I could ask her the questions that y'all want me to ask her as well. I'm trying to re-up and do more interviews nowadays. I know I stopped doing interviews for a while and shit like that, but I'm gonna start doing more interviews, you know what I'm saying, in the year's end. Let me know what y'all think. This is Punch on Boxing. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.